Well, it's been a long wait, but it is finally here. The World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships have begun. Hello, everybody, from Limerick, Ireland, the University of Limerick, Ireland's sporting campus for Haudenosaunee and Team England here on Lax Sports Network. This a Group A contest here to kick off this tournament, which will go on now for the next week and a half or so, crowning a gold medalist and a champion when it's all said and done. Like I said, we have waited a long time for this tournament. It was supposed to be played in 2020 as a U19 event, pushed back to 2021, then now here, 2022. As both teams get set and ready to go, we will step aside and then get you with that first face-off here in a moment, live from Limerick. A record 23 teams in attendance here in Limerick, Ireland, as we get set and ready to go. These athletes have been preparing, and here away we go. Aidan Fern and Daniel Madeley in there at the face-off X, and it is Haudenosaunee who gets the first one. Jacob Piscino, the Liverpool, New York native, getting that first face-off here for the Haudenosaunee side. The LSM getting the ground ball, that is, a captain for this team. Also, he'll be a senior at Albany. That's what you'll see for a lot of these athletes. A lot of players currently in college, some just finishing up in their last couple of years of high school, but all of these players a couple of years older than they would have been, of course, here now that it's a U21 event at that. As we see this Haudenosaunee side for the first time, here's Annalise Dockstader, the Onondaga Community College, Turtle Clan, Nida Reservation. A beautiful day here in Limerick. Next couple days are going to be awesome. Mid-70s, sunny skies. Here's Clay Scanlon. Scanlon working to that right side, one-handed. Now finds Dockstader. He goes low and scores. Haudenosaunee finds the back of the net first. It's Dockstader. His first goal of the day. He was fourth in the NJCAA in points last year, and now you're seeing why at Onondaga Community College. Actually led the entire country in assists a year ago. So we'll get back into the action here once again with Fern out of Bellarmine. Just finished up an outstanding freshman campaign there, and an All-Atlantic Sun freshman against Daniel Madeley from Rochdale, England, University of Nottingham. And a violation there against Madeley. It'll be Haudenosaunee once again here with possession. So Scanlon to Dockstader to start. Scanlon, you might remember, he was an NLL draft pick back in 2019 in the second round. Playing a major series of lacrosse over the summer. The box game is, you'll see many of the players here for Haudenosaunee participating in summer box, refining things as well. That ball's knocked away by Dan Flisk. In the goal for the first half, at least for Team England, is Sam Rogerson. As we see England get the ball for the first time, it's Flisk who continues to work it over the middle. Tim Perley, England native, is Flisk. Part of that U20 European Championship team for Team England back in 2019. They made their name as the best in Europe at the U20 level. Back in 2016, the last time we had this U19, now U21 event, England came in 5th, beating Israel to get in that place. Haudenosaunee, they finished in 3rd back in Coquitlam. Here's Simpson Pink on the left side. He looks to the middle. Going too quickly there is Bickerton. But picking up behind the cage is Alsop. Another ball right in front. Continues to squirrel away. It's Hilditch. Goal line extended. Now they'll work it right to the middle. Looking for Alsop. And then diving and scoring is Bickerton. He's on the board, as is England. It's 1-1. Bickerton from a lacrosse family. His family's been playing for more than 90 years. Father in Scotland won 2 world championships. His grandfather managed England in 1982. Another grandfather assisted in 1990. And he has won every major junior cup at the U12, U14, and on up here now playing in U21. So 1-1 here. Ensuing face-off. There's Fern. Fern from the Glooskap First Nation in Nova Scotia, Hill Academy product. Fern, a captain for this Haudenosaunee team, and he was a big part, if you remember, of course, that wonderful act by Ireland in the World Games in allowing the Haudenosaunee, rightfully so, to play in the World Games. Originally, Haudenosaunee kept out. But when they were not accepted, the Iroquois, to the World Games, Fern started a petition to other countries to boycott it. 50,000 people signed that petition that Fern began, and Ireland stepped in. They stepped aside. And the Team Iroquois is able to go and compete in those World Games. Here's Mason Homer. Homer shoots, stopped by Rogerson. A good confidence builder for the Sale, England native. He was on the 2019 U20 European Championship team. That'll help as the score remains 1-1 here in the first quarter. 15-minute running quarters, by the way. Quarters 1, 2, and 3. The clock will stop under 30 seconds. In quarter 4, as we get below 2 minutes, that's when the clock will stop there. So time will run. That'll keep things moving here as we make our way through the middle of this first quarter. All tied up. England just scored, looking to take the lead here with this possession. Jack Van Valkenburg there in the cage for Haudenosaunee. Played at Albany last couple seasons. He'll be a junior this year. Psychology major there. He's got a defense, a talented one at that, in front of him. Hilditch looking behind the cage. And now Alsop. Out to Will Shirt. Back to Alsop. He shoots and scores. Will Shirt to Oliver Alsop, and England takes a 2-1 lead. Little hot potato between those two. Back and forth they went. Alsop, a nice cut there right in front of the crease. They're able to find the back of the net. Shirt with the assist there. Actually grew up playing tennis and soccer at a very high level in Cheadle, England, and then was drawn to lacrosse after a while. And he says this is a big part of the next step in getting these games on television, and we're proud to bring these games to you and to stream them in whatever way you might consume them over the course of the next week and a half. We'll show you all the groups, pretty much every single team here on Lax Sports Network. England comes out with a face-off. The pull, Brindle. Didn't get much on that, but it is backed up by Alsop. He will restart things from X. 2-1 here. Just about the midway point of the first quarter. This England team took a ferry here to get to Limerick, spent some time in Dublin, as a few of the different teams did. They got together and scrimmaged a bit as they prepared here for this championship and these games in this tournament. Simpson Pink going to his left, works his way through, tries to get it out and throws it away. Haudenosaunee to take over. This is Jacob Piscino, Liverpool, New York. Criminal justice major at Albany, now as a senior. Key part of this team. Now here comes Haudenosaunee on the other end. How about that passing? And guess who it is once again? And Elise Dockstader, his second. Barreto Jr. with the assist. Dockstader with another goal. He's got the 2 for Haudenosaunee. It's all tied 2-2. Dockstader just found his way open there and able to find the back of the net. A good start for him, for sure. Good start for Haudenosaunee, now tying this up. Saw Barreto get his point on the board with the assist, the Seneca Nation. Ensuing face-off, Fern and Madeley. Fern pops it out, tracks it down. It's Yordis McComber. Kanawake, Quebec. Plays for the Burlington Chiefs in the Junior A Box Lacrosse League there in Canada. played for OCC back in 2021. Of course, that OCC program, an excellent one at that. That shot's deflected away. I don't know if it actually got to the net, but that one does. Gregory Elijah Brown gets his first of the day. Product of the Hill Academy, picking up some trash there right in front of the crease. Couldn't really make out how that ball got into his stick, but it sure did. And Elijah Brown finds the back of the net. Scored the third most points in the NJCAA this year. 78 of them, 55 goals, 34 assists. That makes it 3-2 now. Haudenosaunee taking the lead back once again. So England able to score a couple in a row. Now Haudenosaunee looking for some momentum here, trying to do it at the face-off X. Off and running once again. Couple passes, couple fakes, and another score. Roisanke's Barnes, the captain here for this Haudenosaunee team, finds the back of the net for the first time today. So Barnes scores to make it 4-2, and that an unsettled situation off the face-off. Haudenosaunee able to take advantage of. Barnes out of the Hill Academy, Akwesasne High School as well. Big fan of Lyle Thompson growing up, and I think Lyle would appreciate some of those fakes he just threw. High, then goes low. This run spurred on by that face-off X. As this time Fern goes behind, flips it back to Pacino, who gets another ground ball. These two working well together as Pacino now works it to Fern as they get it into the Haudenosaunee offensive end here in the first quarter. Just about 5 minutes to play in this first. Another open player. Here is Deer. Deer, the dish, the score. Trey Deer to Barnes again. Barnes gets his second in the row, and Deer gets his first assist of the day. Just another time where you saw wide open Haudenosaunee players. Deer doing a good job there of attracting the defense's attention, dishing it off, and the Syracuse 2023 commit, a 4-star commit at that, as the Orange looks to retool, reboot here with a whole new class, probably a whole new lease on life with that new 22 coming in the form of Joey Spallina as well. And Deer looks like he's going to be a big part of that. Great hands. Here's Fern. Now a battle here for the ground ball, Elijah Brown. As the Haudenosaunee side has started to open this thing up a bit, 5-2 now. A little bit of breathing room as we make our way here through this first quarter. Here's McComber. Kellis Academy. A look to initiate here from X. A little invert there. Now looks, goes behind the back. Dockstader just a bit wide. Keelan Seneca picks it up. Salamanca, New York. And that pass goes wide. That spurs a cheer from the England sideline. They're led by Ryan Garnsworthy. And a part of this U19, now U21 staff since 2013. Named head coach in 2017. So he's been waiting a long time here to get his opportunity as well. How about the takeaway from Pacino? 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Picked up by Benedict. That's Triton Benedict. And a great job to pick that up, get it into some settled hands in Dockstader. Triton Benedict, Salmon River High School, says one of his favorite memories there, quote, laying bodies. A physical specimen is Triton. Watch out if you're out there when he's out there too. Little fake from Dockstader as he looks and surveys. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go here in the first. Anderson through everybody, stopped by Rogerson. They're going to say Anderson went through the crease. The Rogerston doing okay so far here. Of course, he's allowed a couple, but he's made some tough saves. Haudenosaunee's had some great looks. 5-2 is our score.
1 minute on the game clock.
1 minute to go in the first quarter. England working in that clear, struggling in that. Good ride by Haudenosaunee. They'll get another opportunity here in the final minute of this quarter, excuse me. Elijah Brown gets it knocked away, picked up by Ed Loveland. Though Loveland ended up walking through the crease there. Defenders cannot do that here in international play. No shot clock in international play either. We haven't really had to even talk about that yet, as these teams have gone pretty quickly so far. Here's Mason Homer. Dish gets by the hands of Dockstader, and Rogerson does a good job of shielding off Dockstader here. 17 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Let's see if England can go the length of the field in that time, maybe get themselves a look. Loveland. 5 seconds on the clock. Loveland throws it down, and it's knocked away here as time expires in the first quarter. Couple goals from Annalise Dockstader gives Haudenosaunee the lead with a bit of a run there to finish that first. We're through 15 minutes. 5-2 is our score. Second quarter coming your way next here on Lax Sports Network. Second quarter just underway here at the University of Limerick. First face-off won by Aidan Fern. 5-2 is the score. Tom Eschen here with you on the call here for some Group A action to begin the next week and a half of lacrosse at University of Limerick, Ireland's sporting campus as it's known. Couple goals in that first for Annalise Dockstader for Haudenosaunee. They lead 5-2. Excited to bring a variety of teams, a variety of games to you over the course of this next week and a half. Starting off with Group A play today between Haudenosaunee U21s and Team England. Spin move there for Scanlon. Goes back out. Now he goes the skip pass, and it gets away. Anderson couldn't handle that, so we remain with the score being 5-2. Barnes had a couple in the first as well here for the Haudenosaunee side. They're led by Mark Burnham of the Mohawk Nation. He's had a lot of success over the course of his lacrosse life, you could say. 17 championships as a player, coach, what have you. More trouble for England here in the clear. That's been a problem for them today. Golan now works it. Couple more passes and a result in a score. It's Dockstader with a first half hat trick. The feed from David Anderson finds Annalise Dockstader, who's having quite the debut here in International World Championship play. Anderson gets his first assist, the Culver Academy product. Actually, also Anderson, I should note, an Ontario Hockey League London Knights draft pick back in 2017. So an athlete highly vaunted, if you will. So 6-2 now the score. Haudenosaunee on a bit of a run here. England scored those quick two in the first, and now it's been all Haudenosaunee ever since, and it starts with Fern at the face-off X. Right now, face-off and the ride making a big difference. Fern can't continue to control that. Controlling it instead is Trey Deere. Bolton and Marquis here at the top. The Johns Hopkins commit out of Don Bosco, someone you're going to be wanting to watch. Here's Amos Whitcomb, Albany sophomore 2B. Another good look in front. Finds Dockstader again. That is Marquis getting an assist, and Dockstader getting his fourth goal already. Played just a little more than a quarter, about 17 minutes, and Dockstader's got another goal to his name. What a performance so far, as Marquis is credited with that assist. England reeling a bit here. Don't forget, it was 2-1 England. And now the lead for Haudenosaunee has grown 7-2. Here as you make our way to the second quarter. Fern wins this faceoff. Out to Yordis McComber. Comer will now settle things into the offensive zone for Haudenosaunee as they look to continue this run, a dominant run at that. Now there's McComber, a little spin move. Tried looking for the backhand, then spinning back that inside roll. Good defense. And we have a legal substitution called against Haudenosaunee, so England will get to take over here. Now England will now work it into their side of things and their territory. Danny Hilditch here on the right side. Hilditch gets it back. Like I said, no shot clock. They can kind of settle in and try and find a hole in this defense. Loveland spins, looks inside, ball deflected. Trying to pick it up is Hilditch. Pass going in there to Pacino. He gets it taken away. Can't continue to hold on. England regains possession. Yes, they do. Maybe for a moment does Loveland. That's taken away. Big shot from the pole. Pacino is long, backed up by England. After all that, England gets the ball. Like I said, actually playing at a pretty good pace here so far. But that has certainly behooved the Haudenosaunee with that 7-2 lead. And now England gets it into their side of the field, and Ryan Garnsworthy takes the timeout. They'll talk things over here as they try to stop this run. Haudenosaunee here with that 7-2 lead midway through the second quarter. Burnham, formerly the IMG Academy head coach. He's had an illustrious lacrosse career. He's won 17 championships over the course of his lacrosse life. Was at the helm of the first upstate New York team to win a state title, Henniger, up there in central New York back in 1980. Spent 12 years in the National Lacrosse League, former Iroquois national team player. Was a part of that first Syracuse championship team in 1983. So he leads this Haudenosaunee side as they lead Team England here, 7-2, 9:16 to go in the second quarter.
How much time left? No, how much of the timeout left?
Let's see what England can get going on offense here. That's been their issue, just trying to get it into the offensive end. It's been difficult for them to clear at a lot of different iterations of this game. But it's Dockstader with those 4 goals so far. That's certainly helped the cause for Haudenosaunee. He's been the best player on the field. Here's Shirt. He has an assist today for England. Just 2 goals on the board thus far. Working against this Haudenosaunee defense. Otter's head into 3 white shirts. Ball bounces away. There's Bickerton trying to pick it up. Harassed by Deer back there. Picked back up by England. Hilditch trying to work that over to Alsop. Good catch there at X. Shot deflected out in front. A good job by Trey Deer once again. The body block. And here comes Haudenosaunee. Hustle in there by Hilditch to knock that away. Picked up by Ali Lee. Now here comes England back the other end. Hilditch into the middle. Peel. Alsop. Back over to Hilditch. This Team England took a ferry to get to Limerick, spent some time in Dublin, had a few scrimmages prior to starting play here today. Peel looking to dodge on the short stick. Deere on him. Gets it back out. Good job by Deere there defensively. Once again, no shot clock here, so England can get it out, reset, maybe even get some substitutions in here. Try and, at the very least, slow down Haudenosaunee, get into the half and reset a bit here. See if they can get a goal first. Here's Danny Hilditch, Stockport, England. Alsop gets it out to Hilditch. Hilditch finds a slide by Pacino. That causes a turnover, bounces into the stick of Van Valkenburg. Good job defensively by Haudenosaunee. They played defense for a while now. Now here comes Pacino, the LSM, back the other way. Criminal justice major at Albany. And Haudenosaunee elects to take a timeout here. As after a very long defensive stand, they'll take a breather themselves. So timeout on the field. Haudenosaunee, a 7-2 advantage as we near the end of the first half here in Ireland. Actually got a good look there inside the huddle at Team England. Ryan Garnsworthy getting his guys going, telling them to take the intensity of their training into their play today. Sometimes that's easier said than done, especially against the Haudenosaunee team, but they're going to try and do it here. They got to do it defensively first. Haudenosaunee calling that timeout after getting the ball into their half. So it's Mason Homer who will start with the possession. Haudenosaunee up 7-2, 6:30 to go here in the half. Group A play beginning here as everybody starts play here the next couple days here of the U21 World Lacrosse Championships in Limerick, Ireland. Here's Barnes. He's got a couple goals today. And now good pass and a finish. David Anderson the score. England with those eyes, and if you don't have disciplined eyes against Haudenosaunee, you're in a lot of trouble because the fakes, the deception, the creativity coming out in full force. David Anderson, a Culver Academy product in Cambridge, Ontario. Actually was on the World Junior Indoor Lacrosse Championship All-World team for Team Iroquois back in 2018. So he's been around the block a bit here now. A lot of experience. Also a draft pick in the Ontario Hockey League from the London Knights is Anderson. They win the face-off, back the other way. A free run to it comes Colton Marquis. The first time we've said his name today. Don Bosco prep, Johns Hopkins commit. Ball actually was backed up there by Team England, so Marquis will come off. 8-2, Haudenosaunee. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Here comes Hugo Peel. Peel gets his defender on the ground. Good pass on the doorstep. Alsop now looking cross-field, and probably should have shot it in that situation. A little too unselfish. And now Haudenosaunee takes over. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Amos Whitcomb, another Albany player. Air 83 in white and purple, now gets it over to Elijah Brown, OCC sophomore. Very skilled scorer. He grew up with Doc Stater on their same reservation. Doc Stater behind the back, score! Doc Stater to Anderson. How about that from David Anderson, his second of the day. Increasing his angle by going behind the back. Some function to the flair for David Anderson. 2 goals and an assist. Elijah Brown gets the assist there. Anderson playing with the Toronto Beaches in Junior A. Grandson of Gaylord Paulus, one of the legends. As Fern wins one. This one retreating, and actually that ball thrown away. Van Valkenburg unable to gather, so England maybe with an open door here. It's hard because you can feel it for England. They want to try and stop this onslaught of Haudenosaunee, but now you're down 7 goals. I know it's still the first half, but you kind of have to get going a bit here, find your own momentum. Two minutes to go here in the first half. 9-2 Haudenosaunee. Alsop now working from the top. Loveland trying to work through this offense, trying to get some crisp passing in there, and Loveland as it bounced off his stick.
1 minute, 40 seconds.
Hilditch into the middle, good passing. Alsop shot just over the top.
90 seconds to go.
Bickerton initiating after the long shot there. Little floater pass. Simpson Pig did a good job just to recover from there with a defender on his back. Here's Nathan Wilkinson, Sheffield, England. Right down the middle he goes. Here comes the slide. That diverts him. 1 minute to play in the first half. How about this Haudenosaunee defense? Hilditch, down the alley he goes, up over the crossbar. And a timeout here going to be called again by England. Their second of 2. So they will talk things over here for probably their final possession, everyone's final possession of this first half. So while they talk things over, so will we. We'll step aside. The score 9-2 Haudenosaunee on Lax Sports Network. Welcome back in here to the University of Limerick, and hello to maybe a new audience if you were just watching the United States take down Canada 7-5 in their opener. Here, Haudenosaunee a 9-2 lead against England, and if you don't know the name Annalise Doc Stater, you're about to. He's got 4 goals here in this first half. We're in the final minute of play in the second quarter. He also has an assist to add on to that. He has been a huge part of the success for Haudenosaunee, as has their defense really shutting down England in that clearing game, and Aiden Fern doing a great job at the face-off X. That's all added up to a 9-2 victory. England looking for one to get them some momentum heading into the locker room. Good dodge, move, and score, Danny Hilditch. So coming off the timeout, just say, Danny, take it. Scored the most goals in the Fly Sixes tournament they had a couple years ago. The Golden Stick is what it's called. He had 19 in that tournament, actually coached by Ryan Garnsworthy there. As you could see, he's got those tight moves, that quick first step, and finally getting England back on the board here. First time in this second quarter. 9-3 now, the score. Hilditch's first of the game.
22 seconds. 22 seconds remains in the half.
22 seconds to go here in the first half. How about Fern once again? Fern has started these breaks. That's been another big positive. How about Rogerson with the save? Point blank. Anderson went behind the back on him a couple minutes ago. Rogerson getting the better of him there. A little momentum for England heading into the locker room. So there's 5 seconds to go. England gets their other timeout as they will try and maybe draw something up with just the 5 seconds to play here on the clock. The last play they drew up wasn't bad. As I mentioned, Ryan Garnsworthy, a 3-time World Championship bronze medalist with Australia, including captaining his side at the 2010 championship in Manchester. Since 2013, he's been a part of the England U19 coaching staff, and first as an assistant at the 2016 World Championships, where they finished in 5th, beating Israel to get into this Group A. Appointed head coach of the program in 2017. So it's been a long time coming here for Garnsworthy. As we've mentioned, for these athletes, 2 more years of a wait. And Garnsworthy has been trying to build this program, and from talking to a lot of these coaches and players leading up to it, it's been a very fascinating process, because you think they've had a lot of time, but in some cases, these groups haven't had a lot of time after mixing some things up. Some players, of course, moving on with their lives, moving on in age, of which was acceptable in all of this. So this particular group of players, you know, since you look at after 2020, the amount of time that's elapsed since then, there hasn't been a lot of time. So that it's almost been some ebbs and flows of how they've been able to work together to try and find some chemistry. So 5 seconds to go here. Timeout in the books. 9-3 the score. Let's see what he drew up. Hilditch will start with the ball. That's the cool thing about this. You see other countries walking by here as play continues between England and Haudenosaunee. Ball bounces free, and time has expired here in the first half. And it ends with a 9-3 lead for the Haudenosaunee U21 men's side. Annalise Dockstader, 4 goals and an assist in that first half. What will he have for an encore? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. But in the meantime, it's halftime. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championship live from Limerick Island on Lax Sports Network. The second half just about to begin here at the University of Limerick. It's the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championship. The Haudenosaunee squad, the U21 team, with a 9-3 lead over Team England after the first 30 minutes of play. Annalise Dockstader, 4 goals and an assist in the first half. Fern pops it out. Gathering it is Piscino. He had 3 ground balls in the first half. He gets another one here. The LSM from Albany doing quite well here so far today. Describes himself as a Rick Beardsley type player. Loves those takeaway checks, on-ball defense. Also getting it done on the ground here today. Tom Eschen here with you on the call here for day 1 of this U21 campaign. This is Group A play between Haudenosaunee and England. USA beating Canada this morning 7-5 already. Shot in the midst of a lot of bodies there in the middle, getting his first few moments of the day here. Jack Allen in the game for England. I think he made that save. Sam Rogerson made 3 saves on 13 shots in the first half. Haudenosaunee peppered him. There were some tough ones I don't think he was ever going to make either. Van Valkenburg for Haudenosaunee, 2 saves on just 5 shots. So that tells you a little bit where the weights are tilting in this one so far. Face-offs and turnovers in the clearing game, giving Haudenosaunee some easy looks, and they've taken advantage of them certainly here. As Marquis had an assist there in the first half, gets that out. Retaining possession is the Haudenosaunee side. Here's Mason Homer down the alley. Now he feeds it into the middle. Shot and score. It's Gregory Elijah Brown. Homer with the assist. Elijah Brown with his 2nd goal of the day. Just leaking out there, the sophomore from OCC who went to the Hill Academy. Really cool story about Elijah Brown, and a couple of his teammates here on this squad. He and Annalise Dockstader and a couple other of these players all grew up, of course, together. They actually organized a league to keep track of stats from their pickup games. They held a draft, had trades, and even had a championship. So they had all this stuff written down of their the league they were a part of whatever their pickup games were. That's how much they love the sport. I wonder if they had a name for the league. Van Valkenburg still in the cage for Haudenosaunee here to begin this third quarter. 15-minute running quarters until 30 seconds here in the third, and then in that fourth, it'll be the last 2 minutes in which we'll stop time. Curtis McComber. Offside called on Haudenosaunee. Let's see if England can get some momentum here. They've tried to slow it down offensively at times. And now the pass in the middle, one touch, once again over the crossbar. Loveland takes the shot, stopped by Van Valkenburg. He made one start this past year for Albany, made 15 saves against UMass Lowell. Here comes the pull, the bouncer goes. That's Stone Jacobs out of Vermont getting the score. Haudenosaunee adds another. A pull getting into the action. And Coach Fifes from Vermont says, Stone, one of the best human beings I've had to recruit in my entire coaching career. That's the kind of person you want to build a program around, you want to build a team around, and Haudenosaunee reaping the benefits here. Tore his ACL back in 2017. He actually had the offer on the table from Vermont at the time. Obviously a lot of consternation involving that. Wasn't sure what was going to happen with his lacrosse life, and Vermont stuck with him. So did he. Actually, the rehab was intensive, year and a half of time. Took a chunk of his hamstring and made it into a new ACL. Sorry if that's a little graphic, but I mean, that tells you what he came back from. So he was rehabbing the ACL and hamstring all at the same time. And of course, now the last 2 seasons at Vermont has been a fixture there as a part of their pole unit. So Stone Jacobs getting himself on the board here for Haudenosaunee, leading 11-3. He was the first Indigenous player recruited by Fifes at Vermont, actually. 10 minutes to go here in this third quarter. And of course, that word is part of the slogan for LA 2028, World Lacrosse, working to get lacrosse into the Olympic Games here in about 6 years of time. Good passing here by England. That shot's deflected out in front. Good job by Julian Freeman. Lacrosse, just recently named one of 9 sports on the list for potential inclusion into LA 2028. We'll probably find out if it will be next May, June time of 2023. So, Indigenous made, globally played is what the slogan is all about. And of course, this is what the sport is all about. These native people playing the game they love for the creator. Really doesn't get much more pure than that, does it? 77 member institutions now as a part of World Lacrosse, and you can see the impact when you look at these different teams and these players, how they were introduced to the sport, and we'll talk about this as this next week and a half goes on. And these players introduced in school from their local governing body of lacrosse. A slash call there on Haudenosaunee. That's going to go against Deer. I think they said that's a 1-minute penalty. So England will go on the man up here for the first time today. Our first penalty of the day. So let's see what the Team England man up offense looks like. Simpson Pink given a lot of room. 6 on 5 here for the red team. Another shot off the pipe. Alsop's got the back up. Right there was good one. But guarding that pipe, Van Valkenburg as well. Simpson Pig probably was looking to shoot there before he caught it. Now we'll get the reset, restart. Bickerton shoots right into the webbing of Van Valkenburg. 10 seconds here on the penalty. Haudenosaunee content to just ride it out here. Content with their 11-3 lead here to start group play. Everybody here, of course, will play each other. England, USA, Australia, Canada, and Haudenosaunee for about a week, and then we'll have the play-in games start on the 16th of August. Everybody from Group A moves on. Of course, England with that big win in 2016 to stay in this group over Israel, and I'd imagine Israel going to be wanting revenge in that. You'll see Israel here tomorrow on Lax Sports Network. They take on Puerto Rico. Whitcomb. Now it's Scanlon. Scanlon goes behind the back, pass, shot, and it bounces by Elijah Brown. I don't know how he missed that. An incredible pass by Scanlon, as it looked like Elijah Brown had all the time in the world. England gets a stop. Bill Goodwin now working it over to Oliver Alsop. Alsop been with Team England since 16 years old. He's worked his way through this system. I'd imagine I will see him at the senior team level eventually down the road here. Hugo Peel. Peel down the alley. Here comes the slide. Those Haudenosaunee slides have done a great job, as England really has not been able to get anything really close in front of Van Valkenburg. A lot of these shots have been farther away from the cage, and that's because that Haudenosaunee defense has collapsed nicely, but not too aggressively where there's been open England men. In the opener, as that shot stopped on his bottom, Jack Allen, pretty good. In the opener back in 2016, Haudenosaunee beat England 22-4, just for context purposes. Here we are 6 years later, as now here comes the ride. Allen out of his cage, open shot for Barreto. 12-3 Haudenosaunee. Allen getting a little frisky there out the cage, and nobody was there to help him. Gets it taken away, and the ride once again contributing to a goal. Here comes Elijah Brown. He's the one who caused that turnover. Never ceasing. Barreto Jr. just finishing up his first year at Genesee Community College. 7 goals, 6 assists there. Played Junior A box, St. Catherine's this summer as well. He's played a lot of lacrosse as of late from the Seneca Nation. 12-3 the score. First real lockup here at the X. Nadely and Fern. Frozen. Fern gets the pop. But the ground ball going the way of England. A nice job there by Jacob Brindle from Manchester Metropolitan University. Third quarter here in Limerick. Goodwin barreling his way in. Another stop by Van Valkenburg. Here comes Haudenosaunee the other way. A back check, no whistle call. The good job by Simpson Pink. But still it's McComber. Flag is down after that check. Thought it was clean at first, but apparently not. Calling a trip there on Simpson Pink. Interesting. 1 minute penalty now as Haudenosaunee will go up a man for the first time today.
Simultaneous fouls. You're getting red. 1, 2. Trip. 1 minute. White. In home. Substitution. 30 seconds.
I'm just not trying to.
White ball.
Okay, so there you go. There's your explanation here as Simpson Pink called for the 1 minute trip and then Haudenosaunee an illegal substitution. So 30 seconds for Haudenosaunee. So we'll be even for 30 seconds of time. Haudenosaunee will retain possession here. Sizing up his man is Homer. Homer on the run. Deflected out in front. Picking it up is Whitehead. Tom Whitehead from Heaton Mercy, England. Able to get this out to Flisk. The Haudenosaunee penalty released. Another 30 seconds for the English penalty. Hilditch has a goal today. 12-3 Haudenosaunee here. England still without a goal in this third quarter, by the way. And now they will let this penalty expire. So now we are back at even strength here in the third quarter. Out of the box comes Mottershead. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Alsop with possession. Couple fakes working on Scanlon. Mottershead cross into the middle. Bounces all the way on through there, though, to that right side. Here's Shirt. So after all of that, Ryan Garnes really deciding to take a timeout here with about 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. He will talk some things over, and we will also step aside. 12-3, Haudenosaunee. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championship on Lax Sports Network. Back live here at the University of Limerick. Group A play continuing here at the U21 World Championships. 12-3, Haudenosaunee with the lead over England. 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. Annalise Dockstader getting a bit of a blow here in the third. He had 4 goals and an assist in the first half. So he's the leader so far here for Haudenosaunee. I would imagine, as we check the point series, the leader for the tournament as well, as many of these Haudenosaunee players are. There wasn't a lot of scoring in that USA-Canada game today. Patrick Kavanaugh led everybody with 3 points there. Brennan O'Neill had 2 goals. So all the scoring reserved for the Haudenosaunee side here as England tries to get one before the end of the third quarter here. Now, Hilditch backing his way in. Here comes the slide again, deflecting it again. There's been sticks in the passing lanes all day long. 10 seconds to go. Hilditch dumps it off. The shot stopped by Van Valkenburg. He stones Wilkinson. Van Valkenburg gets another save. All-encompassing effort so far from Haudenosaunee as time expires in the third quarter. 12-3, the Haudenosaunee squad with the lead. We head to the fourth and final 15 minutes of play. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships on Lax Sports Network. Fourth quarter about to get underway here at Ireland's Sporting Campus, the University of Limerick, as we kick off the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships live from Limerick, Ireland, along the shores of the River Shannon. We begin the final 15 minutes of play. 12-3 after 3 for the Haudenosaunee side. So far, so good from their perspective of things as we begin here 6 years after our last U19 World Championships in 2016. This delayed 2 seasons, 2 years if you will. Great to see all the athletes, the record 23 teams in attendance that'll be competing over the next week and a half. And of course, several of those games, majority of which you'll see right here on Lax Sports Network. So England gets the opening possession of this fourth. There are 3 goals. They did not score in the third. Danny Hilditch, Oliver Alsup, and Drew Bickerton all have their goals today. Annalise Dockstader with 4 with an assist for Haudenosaunee. Barnes has 2. Stone Jacobs got 1. Gregory Elijah Brown and David Anderson also with 2 for Haudenosaunee. And Barreto Jr. had 1 in the third. They put 12 on the board, looking for more. Would have to get a stop here first. England looking for some momentum of their own. They take on USA tomorrow. Haudenosaunee next game is also against Team USA. That will be in a few days. That's over on the 13th of August. Couple passes, good shot, and another stop. Hilditch stoned by Van Valkenburg. A hit, though, came late by Haudenosaunee player. Here it comes. That a little bit too high by Kobe Cree. So England takes over here with possession with the man up opportunity. 1 minute penalty at that. Wilkinson.
At the 13:20 mark.
13:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. We will stop time as we get under 2 minutes. Couple steps to shot, stopped by Van Valkenburg again. He's forcing them to take some uncomfortable shots. This defense is. Bickerton, another one by Van Valkenburg, going high. Fight for the rebound, and this will go off of Goodwin's stick last. Haudenosaunee survives the man down. They kill off, looked like they will kill off the penalty. So they try Van Valkenburg low. He said no. The second one was high. He also said no. We are back at even strength. Van Valkenburg now with 7 saves today. Facing 10 shots. It's really good. Psychology major at Albany. He'll be a junior this year from Syracuse, New York, Fayetteville Manlius High School. Father Zach, former assistant with OCC. Played football at FM as well. Having a nice day. Gets back in there, Dockstader. Like I said, he got a blow in the third. See if maybe he can add a 5th goal here in the 4th. He's been relentless so far. Barnes shoots, stopped by Rogerson. So Allen, excuse me, is in there. Rogerson had the first half, Allen's in the second half. Colton Marquis has the assist here today for Haudenosaunee to see if he can get in the scoring column in this 4th. Looking to do just that. Allen once again there, though. Marquis goes down in a slump after that's all said and done. Will Shirt winning the run out. Back to the England side it goes. an important time here for England to try and maybe shore up some of these mistakes they've made today so they can take that into tomorrow's game with Team USA. That clear, a lot cleaner than we saw in the first half. That was part of their problem. It was 5-2 after one, Haudenosaunee. 9-3 after two. Now 12-3 here in the fourth. Peel, guarded by Deer. Deer playing both ways quite well here today. Peel trying to muscle his way in, turns back, finds a white shirt. They find him, I guess, is the better way to put it. Though the clearing pass does go out of bounds and now picked back up by Shirt. England will restart. Here Ryan Garnsworthy calling out some plays here, and trying to make sure they get into their correct offensive set. There are some younger players on this Team England team as well, so that, you know, part of a learning curve for them and trying to settle things in as they turn the ball over there. Deer. Syracuse 2023 commit, 4-star recruit. Offside called on Haudenosaunee. Back comes England. See if they can get something in transition. They haven't gotten anything in transition today. They'll choose not to do that again here. They'll settle things down. Goodwin gets some step on the inside. That shot wide. Van Valkenburg, not a particularly big guy, but he looks probably huge in the net to some of these England players today. How about that check? That Pacino over the back of the head there of Goodwin takes it away. Back comes Haudenosaunee. I think Pacino wanted to stay on it and maybe get himself a goal out of all of that. Now they'll reset. Elijah Brown now goes back to X. Let's stay in play for Dockstader. Out to Barnes. Mason Homer, Lafayette High School, Lindenwood University, Onondaga Nation. Now Clay Scanlon. Played for Six Nations in major series lacrosse, also up through with Junior A. Nice little move here to get his step inside as he's falling, shooting. Backed up though by Allen. No one has scored yet here in the fourth quarter. It remains 12-3. England team, a core of them, you know, playing in 2019 on that U20 World Championship team, making themselves the best in Europe. And do have some of that experience. And when it comes to European lacrosse, you know, year after year, they're one of the teams at the top. They just won the 2022 European Box Lacrosse Championships a couple weeks ago. So they do have some wins under their belt, and now, of course, taking this to the world competition, just a little bit different. Trying to get their feet under them here against Haudenosaunee, who, on or off their feet, have been excellent all day today. Yordis McComber, Burlington Chiefs, Junior A. Canadian Box Lacrosse League. He looks for a shot. There is Allen with a save. Picked up, though, once again by Haudenosaunee. Anderson. Here gets free, good pass. Little skate on the inside, and the score. It's Colton Marquis. The Hopkins commit with a flash for another goal for Haudenosaunee. 13-3.
At the 5:30 mark in the fourth is 14.
That's Marquis' first goal of the tournament. Goes along with the assist he had earlier. Couple fakes, goes low.
Again, a reminder, opening ceremony is tonight, 4 p.m. Field 1.
Plays for the Orangeville Northmen in that Junior A League. He scored 50 goals with 54 assists at Don Bosco Prep this past season. That's the kind of score that Johns Hopkins is going to be getting.
5 minutes to go in the fourth. 5 minutes.
Madeley finally gets that face-off. Former rugby player growing up, University of Nottingham kid. Here's Hilditch, working to that left hand. Hilditch, shot knocked away by Van Valkenburg. Finally found his space with some of those hands getting free, but just in time there was the slide. Distracted him a bit. Now Simpson's pink down the right side. His shot batted away. Big rebound all the way out here, almost to the center stripe. Man, Van Valkenburg has been a brick wall here so far today. Another save. That's his 8th of the day. How about number 9? Making the save on 9, Hilditch. 3:30 to go here in the contest. 13-3, Haudenosaunee with the lead. Simpson Pink using that speed. Another good pass. Long shot stopped by Van Valkenburg again. Here comes Mason Homer in a high school championship at Lafayette. Picked up by Amos Whitcomb. Salamanca High School, Allegheny Indian Territory. Native name translates to the fighter. Fighting here physically inside, actually gets it taken away. Ball free. Kicked forward, but into the cross of Mason Homer. Homer on Brown, Brown on Homer, I should say. Homer looked to get himself inside. He trips, that's gonna be whistled and called. Man up for Haudenosaunee. That stick, you can see it kind of trickled down there after that over the head check, and now you'll see this man up unit get on the field for Haudenosaunee. Here comes Doc Stater once again, those 4 goals and an assist in the first half. Like I mentioned, he had such an incredible story. As a teen, got in a car accident that left him in a coma for 4 days, was in the hospital a month. He had to learn how to walk and talk again. Didn't play lacrosse for 2 years. You can imagine those first days, so scary, those moments and the doubt, I'd imagine at times. He said through his family had some connections. Guys like Dan Dawson visited him, helped to encourage him. And look at now, here he is playing in this World Championship. 4 goals and an assist in his debut. This is Flisk working to get his way in the clear. Now he has to retreat. Long pass, and that is taken away by Haudenosaunee as Dylan Snow comes out with this. Here comes Snow. Haudenosaunee on the break. The passing as good as always, though big collision in front. That Seneca that went down, looked like it. Seneca working it to his left hand, and he got hit there as he worked his way towards the crease. Seneca to be a senior at Albany. Salamanca High School, also spent time in North Carolina growing up. Heritage High School, a leader for this team, Keelan Seneca. I'm sure you'll hear his name a lot here over the course of this tournament. That'll be a penalty on Team England.
All right, Coach, red is 2 men down for 3 seconds. Then there'll be a 1 man down for another 27 seconds for the offside.
So right now, Haudenosaunee actually 2 men up. It's 6 on 4. Of course, they've got a 13-3 lead. Will take their time, but not so much. That right at Allen. He makes the save. Haudenosaunee showing a little creativity. That's though kicked right in front into the stick of Elijah Brown, who scores his hat trick. He had 78 points with OCC this past season, 3rd most in the NJCAA. In game against Herkimer College late in the season to win the Region 3 championship, he had 12, 6 goals, 6 assists.
We are on stop time, just for you fans. Stop time, the last 2 minutes of the game.
We have reached the 2-minute mark, which means the clock will stop. They give Fern a break here at the X. It's Kobe Cree taking this face-off from SUNY Potsdam. At 22 goals, Cree this past year with Potsdam State. The Bears.
30 seconds remaining in the period. 30 seconds in the game.
30 seconds now in the game. 14-3. Haudenosaunee starting with an exclamation point, if you will. An all-encompassing performance, and of course, it's a battle as you make your way through Group A play. USA beating Canada in a battle already, 7-5, and now Haudenosaunee looking like they'll coast to a 14-3 win to begin their 2022 World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championship. They start 1-0. Taking down England 14-3 the final. It's Annalise Dockstader, the leader for the Haudenosaunee U21s. 4 goals and an assist on the day. He was excellent, and as was this whole team through and through. An all-encompassing effort by Haudenosaunee as they start off with a win over Team England. Our coverage of the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships continues here for the next week and a half, and that continues tomorrow, where we will have Group B play. Our first look at Group B, Puerto Rico and Israel. Israel just finishing outside that top 5 6 years ago. They're looking to get back into things in Puerto Rico, an exciting country of lacrosse. It continues to grow there. That will be, and they definitely have invested themselves, as has Israel, over the past few years. That'll be 8 a.m. Eastern tomorrow here on Lax Sports Network. Our coverage continuing throughout the duration of this tournament. I hope you can join us, and we're glad that you joined us here today for Haudenosaunee and Team England as the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships have begun. They've commenced here from Limerick, Ireland. We appreciate you joining us here, but that'll do it for our coverage from the University of Limerick. A win for Haudenosaunee. For the rest of our team, I'm Tom Esham. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Clean second half, John. See?